Hello, everyone, and welcome to AFL Trade Wrap video day 7. This is the second last day of trades. Now, I'm recording this 23 minutes before the deadline of today. So as of this recording, there's only been one official trade today, and Shane McAdam has officially joined the Demons from the Crows for a future second-round pick heading the Crows' way. And there's one more day to go. Tomorrow it ends at 7:30 p.m. Victorian time. Last year, trades couldn't officially go through till like 2 p.m. On the final day. I haven't heard any confirmation yet, but that probably is still the case. But yeah, up until 7:30 p.m. Victorian time tomorrow night, trades can go through. And there's a bunch of names still to go through, and we'll go through all of them soon. Remember to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate it. And go check out any more of my recent videos I've done on the trade period, AFLW, AFL, etc. Weekly podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Shane McAdam to Melbourne for a future second. I mean, McAdam's had his moments. He played Sanford at times. He's shown glimpses in patches in AFL. I thought a future third would have got it done. I'm not surprised that this is what's got it done, but I would have thought a future third or picking the 40 to 50 range would have been about right, about the same as Matt Flynn. Now, the names that haven't gone through yet that may or may not go through. Quadelaide are involved in a lot of these. Van Soldo, Paddy Dow, Xavier Dersma, Dylan Shield, Jacob Yaziski, Nick Caulfield, Jack Billings, Jordan Sweet, Radigalia, Zerk Thatcher, Marbell Chol, Jack Ginnivan, Massimo D'Ambrosio, Jack Gunston, Harrison Petty, Nick Haynes, and Tom Cleary. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Nick Haynes is because despite them saying that they are going to keep him, if a club did offer to pay that big bulk on the money, because he's paying on around a $1 million in the back end of contract, they would let it happen. They're happy with their defence. Iden, Himmelberg, Buckley, Isaac Cumming, and guys like that. But that's the one to keep an eye out on. The big news today was Jack Gunston. Not Jack Gunston, that was the other day. Jack Ginnivan. Well, Scoops, did you say something during the final series that Ginnivan was exploring his options? Oh, you did. Yeah, I remember. Yes, you did. Now, I did post and say that Richmond had shown interest in him. I'm sorry, just saying clubs interested doesn't mean I'm saying he's going there. Plenty of clubs have interest, and doesn't mean he goes there. Like, for example, if Aaron Norton was to leave for the Bulldogs, all other 17 clubs will show interest. That's just common knowledge, and that's what I'm just saying with Ginnivan. You say he's going to Richmond. Hawthorn are now apparently the front runners, and it'll be a perfect fit for them. They need small forwards. Outside of Luke Bruce, is getting on in age. They don't have anyone else, really. So that'd be a perfect, and they lost Tyler Brockman. So Jack Ginnivan would be a massive upgrade on Tyler Brockman into my eyes, and it'll be a great pickup for the Hawks if it does eventuate. Apparently, the reports are changing by the minute at the moment, considering there's a day and a bit to go. Just over a day to go. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. One to keep an eye on, Jack Ginnivan and the Hawks. And I'm sure the Bulldogs and Richmond will be looking at his services as well. Van Soldo wants to go to Port. Port want him. Richmond don't want him to go. He's got a year left to go. I don't see why Richmond want to hold him. They could probably get something better for him now than they would next year. Tried to go to GWS last year. That didn't happen. Just let him go. He's not that good. And Port will probably cough up more just to get him into the club. So just let them do it. Dylan Shield. Don't rule this one out. I've been saying this since the deals happened. That watch your space on Dylan Shield. That is still a possibility to join the Saints tomorrow. Not definitely, but a possibility of happening. So keep an eye out for that one. The X-Man, Xavier Dersma, him and Brandon Zerk Thatcher are tied up together. Essendon would want Dersma. Zerk Thatcher wants Port. Port have threatened to take him to the preseason draft or the national draft with Radigalia as well, because Geelong and Essendon have been completely unrealistic. Geelong and Essendon in the AFL have been unrealistic. What's new? Chris Scott, Dodoro, not a surprise, really. And their crew at both those clubs. I mean, Xavier Dersma is 3 times the player that Zerk Thatcher is and ever will be. If I was doing this deal, if you were wanting Zerk Thatcher and vice versa, I say, okay, if we're taking Zerk Thatcher and you want Dersma, you give us a second rounder back. So I would, if you're getting rid of Dersma, if I was Port in this scenario, I'd be asking for a second rounder and Zerk Thatcher, not just straight shot, because Dersma's way better. I know Port need the need. I don't know why they're wanting Brendan Zerk Thatcher and why they so desperately want him. Here we are. Same with Fasava Radigalia. threatened to take into the preseason draft. You offered pick 25 or 24 for Radigalea at the time, and that was ridiculous. And Geelong laughed in your face and wanted Ollie Lord. And oh Lord, what a dumb call that was from Geelong. All right. 25 was way overs, and they didn't accept it because they're stubborn. They're unrealistic. Geelong, as always. Radigalea is worth a pick in the 50s, 45 range at best. So that's that one. Jack Billings, keep an eye out. They're saying he could still leave if the offer's there. Nick Caulfield and Paddy Dow, they're both linked together. Dow will find his way to the Saints. Cough will find his way to the Bulldogs. Just the haggling, might be a four-way trade with Essendon involved and Carlton and the Bulldogs with the Saints. Four-way trade, and they swap picks around. They're reluctant to give up a future third. They want to give a future fourth, which is about the right for Paddy Dow. I know you can argue he's got a 3-year deal on the offer from the Saints. No, I like Paddy Dow, but he's hardly played for them. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. Marby Old they want a future second to Gold Coast. They'll probably get that because he's contracted and Hawthorn will have to pay up. And Hawthorn got a lot of things to worry about. Massimo D'Ambrosio, the threat of taking him through the preseason draft is real. That could happen. They would pick him up. And Jack Gunson, they're trying to look at him. That could be separate to all these. They're not prioritising Jack Gunson over these other names, Chol and D'Ambrosio, and now Ginnivan. But Gunson transaction could be pretty simple, so they should get into that. And Jack Ginnivan, as I mentioned before, Hawthorn are the club to watch of him. And two I want to finish off with Tom Cleary. Don't rule him still leaving the Paul Footy Club because if Zerk Thatcher and Radigalea go through before the end of trade deadline, Cleary's still contracted for another year. He could get pushed out. For a club like North Melbourne, I've been stating for days, should be looking at players like Tom Cleary and even Dougal Howard. They need options, they need experience, and there are guys that could provide that. And Harrison Petty, Adelaide has said today that they will still try and poach Harrison Petty despite Melbourne's adamant stance that he's not going. They'll keep trying and trying and they keep saying that Petty wants to come here. So next year, I don't know why Melbourne wouldn't just offload him now, but he's maybe a bit late because there's no forwards to bring in, not enough time. And next year, if I was Melbourne, I would still consider the move because he's going to want to move again, they said, according to Adelaide. So just let him go and get more than he's actually worth right now. And next year you would too, when apparently it's a key forwards market next year. But tomorrow I'll do a last day trade wrap video. Then on the Thursday, I'll do a full trade wrap video on club by club, and I'll assess a grade them out of 10 or an A+ system, blah, blah, blah. And I'll do it through that on Thursday. Tomorrow night, check out the coverage. Finishes at 7:30 p.m. I'll do a video after the trade wrap tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, the full club by club review from me. Thank you all. Hope you get who you want, and go Saints and get Paddy Dow. And wow, what a move it will be. Come on, Saints. Lucky Whitfield.